What would it feel like if you could go through life knowing that you could do no wrong, or that anything that you do is acceptable, that there is someone who will just love you the way that you are? This is a video that I was so excited to make because it was inspired by my friend. So, my best friend, Garima, I love you. She said something to me recently that really just stole my heart. Like, I feel emotional just thinking about it, to be honest. So, let me tell you the story. I was expressing to her how, she's one of my favorite human beings. And she was like, "Oh my God, you're one of my favorite human beings too, Priya. You could fully do no wrong in my eyes." And I was just like, "Oh my God." Oh my God, am I getting emotional? It was just so heartwarming, and it was just so profound to hear that, to hear her say that, because I feel like that was like one of those moments that I felt true, unconditional love. Like I believed what she was saying. I knew it was true. I knew that she valued me, that she recognized me, that she really sees me. And I knew that this was true, that she accepted all parts of me, regardless of what I did or who I was, you know? And it felt like something unlocked in me. And actually I realized now upon reflection, so what happened was, we it was a very short encounter that we had when we were messaging. And we were just really expressing our love for each other. And then I went to bed. Well, I just went to sleep. And then my whole body was vibrating. Like it was crazy. At first I was like, am I cold? Like, am I shivering? Is that why, like, it's shaking? But it wasn't. It was all the love that I had felt, because when she was saying these things to me, I took time out to really absorb them into my heart. That's something really important that you want to be doing. Whenever there's a great situation, when there's lots of love around you, excitement, or whatever it is, you want to like absorb it into your heart. And look, there's no special technique. Just feel yourself feeling the love, feeling everything that's going on at the moment, and just absorbing it. Because look, things like emotional trauma, right? They're like really big emotions that you've absorbed that stay with you for a long time. And they become kind of like to your demise, you're keeping them there. But when you can keep moments like this, where you feel so much love and joy and excitement and ecstasy, whatever it is, when you can absorb that, it becomes an inner resource of yours. It becomes an inner strength of yours that you can kind of go back to, and it stays in your body. And I don't know about you, but I want to be storing lots of love and joy and ecstasy in my body, not like sadness and all of that. We want to be letting those things out, but the love we want to keep within us. And that's what I did. And my body was vibrating. It's never happened like this before. Ever. Like the only times I've ever felt like my body vibrating was maybe when I'm doing like a breathing exercise, or I'm in a really deep meditation or something. But this was for the first time, I think, because for the first time I felt like someone had expressed unconditional love to me. And look, at the end of the day, we're humans, right? And everybody wants to be loved. Like you can say that you don't, or you pretend that that doesn't mean anything to you, but deep down, we all want to be loved. We want to give love. We want to be respected. We want to be heard. We want to be seen. We want to be understood. And we just want to be embraced for who we are, like we were when we were kids. When you were a child, you were just embraced. It wasn't like, oh, my child's a really good child, so I love that child. Or actually, you know what, maybe it was. But as a child, the common kind of premise is that you are loved because you are special, because you're a child and you just deserve love, right? You get unconditional love. But along the line somewhere, we learn about conditional love, which is if you get the best grades, if you behave the best, if you do this, if you do that, if you're great at, I don't know, playing the piano, or you're better than my friends' children, and I love you. And this introduces us to a different type of love, which is conditions, which is, okay, you do A and then you get B. Okay. It's not like I love you always. Like, you can do no wrong, my beautiful child. Okay, yeah, you didn't get the grades that you wanted. You got, I don't know, a C when I wanted you to get an A star. I still love you. Because the thing is, can you imagine the type of impact this has on a child when a child comes home and, the parents treating the child differently because the child didn't live up to the parents' standard of some sort. And now the parent is blocking the child from receiving love. in the way that they usually do. It conditions you. It's like classical conditioning. It's like where you condition dogs. You know, it's like you do this and the bell goes and then you salivate and then you get the food. And that's what happens to the child. So the child gets a conditioning that is harmful, that is toxic to your nervous system. That means you become a people pleaser. That means you're obsessed with perfectionism. That means you don't have any boundaries. That means you become codependent because someone is saying to you, you're not okay just the way that you are. You're not good enough. This is why chronically we feel like we are not good enough in life. So we have to dress ourselves up. We have to put on a mask. We have to, take on a whole personality. We have to wear certain things, wear makeup, look a certain way, wear certain clothes, talk a certain way. We just are never affirmed and validated for who we are. Our authentic self isn't affirmed, and this is your wounded inner child, and this is problematic. This is the root cause of most of your problems in adulthood. You lack confidence, you lack self esteem, you lack self worth. Any issues come from the fact that you did not develop properly at a young age. It's not to worry because you can change that, right? We can grow, we can evolve. That's why we're here, to grow, to evolve, to just unlearn certain things, to learn how to love ourselves better. And one of the most amazing ways you can do that is by telling yourself you can do no wrong. I want you to love yourself the way that Garima shows me love. Because Garima showed me that love because I've started showing that to myself. Okay? Because if I wasn't showing that to myself and I wasn't already saying that to myself, because I did used to say that to myself. I used to say, Priya, you can do no wrong. Priya, you could do whatever you want. You could do the most messed up thing, but I will still love you. Like, that is my commitment to you. I don't care what you do. I will never stop loving you. And okay, yeah, maybe at moments, maybe momentarily I have negative thoughts about myself, but that's okay because I always bounce back to I love you. I don't care. And do you know how liberating that is? Do you know how liberating it is to stop criticizing myself, to stop comparing myself, to stop, loving myself conditionally and be like, no, Priya, you have to get this much work done. You have to be super productive. You have to have this much money. You have to have this. You have to talk like this. You have to move like this. You have to look like this. Your nose should look like this. Your brow should look like this. Blah, 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 blah. Love without condition and love others without condition. And look, let me preface this by saying, don't forgo your boundaries. Okay, don't be like, oh my god, I love you so much, I'll do anything. Okay, you want me to jump off a cliff? Okay, how high? You want me to do this? Okay, cool, I'll stab myself. Where? I'm not saying that. Okay, so let's not take it to any extremes. Look, the thing is with my videos, I like to, before I'm filming or like even during when I'm filming, I like to think of questions or concerns or any queries or doubts that people may have about what I'm saying, and then I like to address them all because I want you to get the facts. I want it to be really clear about what I am saying. So I am by no means saying that. I am by no means saying love someone unconditionally, even if they abuse you, exploit you, harm you, or whatever. Okay, because look, when you love yourself unconditionally, you understand what love is. So you think anyone can come to me? Let's say Garima came to me, right? And she, I don't know, she had like a complete identity shift and she started, I don't know, being mean or being really harmful. And this just was just who she was now. Do you think I would accept that? No, because yeah, I love you, but I love me more and I will never ever take that. Not more, but like I love me. So that's not okay with me. So it would never be like that. The thing is with unconditional love, what it does is it allows you to freely express yourself. I can be who I want to be. I can say whatever I want to say. I can be in a mood. I can be angry. I can be, you know, feeling jealous, bitter, whatever it is. There's space for me. There is enough space for me and my emotions and my wildness and the chaos, everything, because especially if you're a woman, like, that is who you are. The feminine is wild, she's chaotic, she's nature. Look at nature. You think nature's all nice and prim and proper? No, nature is wild. She's creative, she's beautiful, she's nurturing, she's giving, but she's also chaotic. She's destruction. She's everything. And that's what you want. You want to be able to express yourself fully with people, especially in relationships. Like, I did not know this. Like, this was a completely foreign thing to me, that in a relationship, I can be mad, right? Let's say I'm having a bad day. Let's say I'm on my period. I'm just feeling stressed, or I haven't had enough sleep, or I'm hungry, and I'm just not myself. Okay. And then I'm with a partner, and then this partner has grace, right? This partner is giving me space, and this partner's like, I love Priya. Like, I know this is just her not being herself, and I'm being compassionate towards her. I'm giving her some kindness. I'm not gonna get mad at her and get defensive and be like, "Why are you acting this way? Oh my god, I'm being triggered." Rather than that, he's giving me space. And this isn't just in a romantic relationship. This is in every relationship. It's about having compassion, because it's about karmic traces. Like, this is something that I was reading in a book called the Tibetan Book of Dreams and Yoga, right? So he hasn't actually got onto the bit. I haven't read that far, but the part that I read was, it was this story about this guy. His parents used to fight all the time, and he hated it. Okay, so there's an aversion to an event. He grew up 30, 40 years later. He's walking past a house, and then he sees a family and there's fighting. He goes home. He has a dream that he's fighting with his partner. He wakes up, and then he's in a, obviously he's feeling off, he's feeling a little bit withdrawn. His partner notices, and then his partner gets triggered, and then his partner and him kind of getting into an argument. There's a karmic trace. It's because the karma was there, because when we grasp at something, when we're like, this is really important, then we make it, we hold it dear in our heart, right? Or if we are averse to something, like, no, no, I hate this, I want to stay away from this, that's also a very strong emotional reaction. And this leaves a trace in your being, in your psyche. So what happens is, when a sort of similar situation comes up, and you know, like, it's a secondary environment, they say, a secondary conditioning thing. It's where you get triggered because something in your environment happens. For example, like, just normal triggers, right? Like, you see a red car, and the car reminds you of your ex that cheated on you, and you're triggered, and now you're feeling some way, and then you get into an argument because you're projecting how you're feeling onto someone else. It's like that. So we have these comic traces. For that person in your life who may get angry at you, rather than getting angry at them, why don't you show them some compassion and be like, you know what, this person is dealing with their own comic trace. They are dealing with a constriction of their consciousness. Because look, when we are fully conscious, and we are fully present, and we are fully aware in this moment, free from any past trauma, emotional repression, or wounding, we act in the best way possible. But not everybody has access to that. So we can show compassion to them. And then what we do is, when we stop reacting to these things, we heal that thing within us. So now this karma is not going to repeat. I saw this playing out in Married at First Sight Australia, because I've been watching that recently. And it was really interesting, because there was this guy, right? And he only was Married at first sight is where you basically marry someone at first sight, and then you spend time with them, and then you see whether you want to stay with them. So this guy met this Lauren. Oh, what's his name? The guy, I can't remember his name. Let's just say Chris. Chris gets married to Lauren. He sees something in Lauren, and he's like, oh no. After 2 days, he's like, nah, I'm out. She doesn't meet this criteria. And they were very like, kind of like little things, but obviously he got triggered, right? And he didn't hear her out. He wasn't being fully present. He was just like, panic, let me run, let me run. So he runs off. He gets a chance to marry someone again. And it was so interesting, because he is now Lauren, and then this woman is now acting like him. She's not hearing him, she's not seeing him, she has this preconceived notion of him. So now she's acting in a way that's not rational at all. She's not even hearing him. And we get to see that on TV. Like, we get to see that played out. And when I saw that, I was like, whoa, that's a fractal pattern. That is basically who you are. And like, let's say that you, like, your being is a drawing, right? And that drawing will be replicated in every single relationship. I really hope this is making sense. Like, I hope you can see it the way that I'm trying to kind of convey it. It's almost like a cell. Like, a cell reproduces and like clones itself, right? But then a minor like change can come. I can't remember what the name for a change is. Something can be changed, and then that cell will then produce that change, and all the other cells will have that change within it. It's like that. So Chris had something in him. He had inner child wounding, and then that inner child wounding was being reflected everywhere. So he caused harm to Lauren, and then he caught a partner, well, caught, he engaged and found a partner. Life gave him another partner who represented the same thing, who was now doing the same thing to him. So you see, there's these. This is what karma is. Karma is cause and effect. Karma isn't God saying, "I will smite you because you have just committed a sin." No, it's A plus B equals C, and it's A plus B equals C every single time. So if you have anger, you have wounding, that's gonna equal more wounding, right? C. So until you stop reacting, until you show some compassion, until you can see and have awareness and see this thing with non-duality. So non-duality is who we are. That's our nature. Non-duality is oneness. It's infinity. Duality is I'm Priya, you're whoever, a gorgeous human being. you know, um, good, bad, cold, hot, high, low. That's duality. But non-duality is no judgment, no labeling. You see that everything is neutral. And this is where your freedom lies. This is where you can become the most empowered, happy, fulfilled version of yourself, because that exists. You can win at this game called life, but you just need to learn how to regulate yourself properly. And the way you can do that, one of the things, is by loving yourself unconditionally. Every single day in the mirror, please affirm, I can do no wrong. I can do no wrong. I can do no wrong. And look, I'm not telling you to go do things that harm other people and be like, I can do no wrong. Okay? Obviously, I'm not saying that. You can use your own discernment, but whatever happens, it's like karma. If you do that, sure, karma will come and it will repeat until you learn these lessons. That's what life is about. That's why you can break up with someone and be like, oh my God, I've just had like so many crappy relationships in my life. Okay, like when will I find the one? This is childish thinking, by the way. Childlike thinking. I have a video on that. You definitely want to check that out if you feel like this resonates with you. And let me know in the comments below if this is something that resonates with you. You know, when you think, oh, it's just a partner and you don't take any responsibility, then what happens is every single partner, I promise you, every single partner you encounter will have the same base foundation and structure of that problem that you are trying to run away from, that aversion that you are trying to escape. You will face the same partner in a different body, period. So the change lies within you. And unconditional love is acceptance, the deepest acceptance. I was actually going to make a video on this a long time ago, but I just didn't get around to it, which is okay. There's another lesson in that, which is always follow your creativity. Any insights that you have, follow them. Any ideas you have, you don't know where they're going to lead you. I was getting into the wisdom of the heart, because the wisdom of the heart is much stronger and much more palpable than the wisdom of anything. Okay, the heart and obviously like divinity and stuff. But the heart is super, super wise. The heart actually, if we had to categorize and, do it in patriarchal style and make a hierarchy, the heart would be at the top. It wouldn't be the brain. It wouldn't be logic. It wouldn't be thought. It would be the heart, because that is the greatest intelligence that exists, because that alludes to the intelligence of your emotions. That's where emotional intelligence comes from, because it is intelligence of love, and love is what we are. I'm an embodiment of love, and so are you. So deep acceptance is important, and this came to my awareness when I was doing the meditations of this guy. Oh, I can't remember his name, but I will link it. He was doing a meditation, and it was a meditation like no other. He said, okay, sit. You don't particularly need to be doing anything. If you have thoughts, let them be. Any emotions, let them be. If you're struggling to meditate, let that be. Own everything. Own the part of you that doesn't want to sit here. Own the part of you that's annoyed. Own the part of you that's angry. Just accept it all. That's it. Because when we can accept everything, we infuse it with love. He was mentioning how Rumi says that your consciousness and your being is like a house, okay? You're a house, and the emotions that come in, the thoughts that come in, anything that comes in is a guest. And in true Indian style, we honor all guests, okay? It doesn't matter who comes into your house, but we honor guests. We don't take get out, get away. What are you doing? Ew, I don't like you, anger. I don't like you, resentment. I don't like you, jealousy. I don't like you, unproductive, Priya. Like, get out. There's no space for you. I hate you. And we don't cause attacks. We are not violent to any part of us. So why are you being violent to the part of you that is unproductive sometimes? Like, as if we're here to just be productive little machines. That's like a whole different story. But Don't shut any part of yourself out. That creates blocks to wholeness. Wholeness is just accepting all of us, even the bits that you don't like, especially the bits that you do not like. It's loving them all and saying there's space for you. When you're younger, what do kids get told? Like, don't cry, stop it, stop crying. What do you think that teaches you? It teaches you that there's not enough space for you. There's not enough space for your emotions. You start self-policing. You start self-sabotaging. You start becoming a perfectionist. You're like, oh, whoa, okay, anger's not accepted. Being sensitive is not accepted in this society. So when I'm with a partner, I don't want to be sensitive. I don't want to express how I feel because that's scary because there's not enough space for me. And that creates problems in your relationships, all of your relationships. So if there's any issue ever in how you're relating to other people, look within. It lies within you. So let me give you an example where you know how I like to just present everything. So let's say there's someone abusing you, right? And here's Priya. Priya on the internet is telling you love everybody unconditionally, and that if there's a problem, look within yourself because the issue lies within you and not, for example, your abusee. What I'm saying in this situation is if I was in a relationship and someone was abusing me and I wanted to love them unconditionally, what I would do is I wouldn't take it personally. Obviously, I know it's easier said than done, but that is the way that life works, right? We have to find our inner strength. I would be like, okay, compassion, I need to protect myself. Now, how did I create this? How did I cause this? How can I take responsibility? What does this say about me? Well, it's telling me somewhere I am not respecting myself. Somewhere I'm lacking showing love to myself. And that's it. There's a solution. It's no, I'm going to fix him. I'm going to try to sort this out. I'm going to get him to therapy. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get revenge on him. I'm going to get him beaten up. None of that. It's, I understand that I'm not loving myself, hence why this person is reflecting it to me. I will now remove myself from this equation. I will keep my energy to myself and I will let it go and I will move on. And I am more dedicated to loving myself because I deserve it. That is what I am telling you to do. That is the main structure of what I'm trying to teach you. Love yourself. You don't understand how good it feels to be loved unconditionally. I am so, so grateful for Garima. And I'm so, so grateful for myself for giving that to me because you can't have anything you don't already have. Like attracts like, right? So if I don't have self love, I can't attract self love. I may have been in relationships, right, where people are loving me, and I'm just like, no, you're not. Like in that scenario with Chris and his new partner, he was expressing himself and being vulnerable, but she was like, "You're not expressing yourself. I don't know anything about you." Blah blah blah. Because she had this like hate towards him because she had heard from Lauren, and Lauren was like, just being like negative about Chris, understandably, right? But she now took on that karma too. So she's expressed this to his new girl. His new girl's like, okay, he's bad, he's bad, he's bad. Her defenses go up. So now when he's saying anything, she can't take it. And the cycle will repeat. The cycle will repeat. So stay grounded in the moment, stay present, and dedicate yourself to deeply accepting yourself because I'm here to tell you that you can do no wrong. I don't care what you've been doing with your day. I don't care if you've been in your pajamas all day. I don't care if you just, I don't know, lost a job, got fired, got demoted. I don't know, said something mean to someone. I don't care. You're worthy of love. You will always, always, always be worthy of love. I love you. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if any of this resonates with you. And I will see you in the next one. And shout out again to Garima. Really hope that people can find a friend like Garima in their life. And it happens when you change yourself. People like that exist. You want people who see the highest version of you, who speak life into you, who love you so much, who make your whole body vibrate with love. You deserve that. Everybody deserves that.